Alright, Shalom. I'm Kanaksa Banyasharala.
I'm Zaria Banyasharala.
And we're from the Lions Den Camp. And first and foremost, we want to start this thing out by giving all glory and praise to the Father and His Son in the Holy Spirit of truth, in the proper way. In the Hebrew, we want to say Kal, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Ha, Rakah, Quadash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone and our elder Harold Wan as well here in Lions Den Camp. Peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth. And as we're coming off the back end of Hurricane Ian, we just wanted to do a lesson real quick. We're sitting in the parking lot of our job. There's a couple trees and stuff knocked down, branches and stuff knocked down. Nothing too major, but you know, we're gonna start to see major things and major events happen, and whether it be in the form of a storm, like an actual hurricane, or a storm of troops. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is gonna protect those that are His and destroy those that are not, man. So just because people may have think that they survived this little storm like Hurricane Ian, doesn't mean that they're set up to survive the up and coming storms of the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, we're just going to get a couple scriptures going into that. Lord willing, this lesson to edify and to serve His purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, and I want to start with Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire." And that's a judgment that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to send onto this place, man. And that's what people. And if they're not prepared for what's to come, then you're going to be destroyed right along with everything else that's set up to be destroyed in this place. That's why the scripture said, "Let the multitude die in vain." All right. Let the multitude die which were born in vain, Salakia, roughly paraphrasing the scripture. So if you're not set up to make it, you're not going to make it. There's nothing that you can do. There's no window you can board up, no amount of water you can get to store and stash away, no matter what do they call them, sandbags to stop flooding and all that shit. None of that stuff is going to matter when the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai comes down, man. All right, you want to get that next scripture?
Come on. This is Psalms chapter 107, verse 25. "For He commanded and raised the stormy wind, which lifted up the waves thereof."
Fine. And this is all done by a commandment of the Lord, Just like how He could command the seas to raise, He could command them to calm down. Go ahead.
Verse 26, "They mount up to the heaven, and they go down again to the depths. Their soul is melted because of the trouble. They reel to and fro and stagger like a drunken man, and are at their wits' end. And then they cry unto the Lord in their trouble, and He bringeth them out of their distress."
And that's what He's doing to us right now. He's going to bring us out of our distress, man, because we're in a distressed state. Matter of fact, let me get Isaiah 29:1. It says, "Woe to Ariel, the city where David dwelt. Add ye year to year, let them kill sacrifices. Yet I will distress Ariel, and there shall be heaviness and sorrow, and it shall be unto me as Ariel. And I will camp against thee round about, and will lay siege against thee with a mount, and I will raise forth against thee." All right, so the Lord is the one that put us in distress, man, for us ultimately not obeying His word. But He's gonna also deliver us from the stressful situation that He placed us in, as a punishment for us not listening. All right.
Come on. I'm going to start back at verse 28.
Go ahead.
It says, "Then they cry unto the Lord in their trouble, and He bringeth them out of their distress. He maketh the storm a calm, so that the waves thereof are still."
And that's beautiful, because that's we're actually calling the calmness that we want is not necessary for the Lord to rebuke what's coming or stop what's coming. We want to be able to survive through what's coming and get delivered, and see the majesty and the glory of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. See the manifestation of New Jerusalem, and the sons of God being revealed to the whole world, man. We want to see the destruction come, but we want to be protected through what's to come, man. Because this is nothing. This is minute compared to what the Lord has in store about to come down to on this place, man.
Is that Matthew?
Yeah, Matthew chapter 8, verse 23.
This is Matthew chapter 8, verse 23. It says, and when he was entered into a ship.
All right, this is what I forgot exactly where they were traveling to, but this is when Yahushua and the disciples were traveling on a boat and they got caught in a storm. All right, go ahead.
Verse 23. And when he was entered into a ship, his disciples followed him, and behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. And his disciples came to him and awoke, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he saith unto them, why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith?
Right. So that now that's a testimony to where what we're gonna have to use for us to sustain through these storms or these tempests, the martial law troops, all right, the MOTB, the CHIP, the stuff that they're trying to put in everybody. All right, we're gonna need faith to sustain us through all that, man. So that's why the Lord said, "Ye of little faith," because that's the only thing that's gonna solidify us all the way through.
I was just saying, not just physical storms like we're in right now with the rain and wind, but also spiritual storms, like everything that the bishop was just saying, everything that's gonna tempt us, and when we think we don't, and everything that's gonna tempt us, we have to make sure we have patience and faith and hope in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Right, patience is a great word to use because a lot of faith takes patience, man. Because you might have faith, but if you don't have patience to wait on the deliverance, you might get to moving too fast. And you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna have to understand how to let patience have its perfect work. As a matter of fact, I'll get it real quick. This is James 1, I think.
Look it up.
No, I got it. I think it's James. All right, this is James chapter 1, verse 6. It says, 1 verse 3, it says, 2. It says, my brother, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, like the brothers already just said. Like, it's going to be so many temptations, so many trial periods that's going to be, that'll give us to the point where, like, try to force us to give up, because that's what the ultimate goal is, try to force us to give up. All right, so it's going to take patience, man. It says, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Right. So the trying of our faith is what's ultimately going to, help us develop patience. Because the more faith we have, the more we're going to, the more we have to hold on to, that's going to help us with the patience to wait for, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to deliver us. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Right. So let patience have her perfect works. Don't be, yes, we hasten to the day of the coming of our Lord, but if we ain't out of here yet, that means either all the elect aren't sealed or there's something that we have within us that the Lord is trying to purge us out of us through temptation to increase our faith a little bit more. Because think about it. It's going to take a lot of faith for us to be delivered. Can you imagine your body being snatched off the earth? Now you 40 million thousand feet in the air. You know what I'm saying? That's the equivalence to, Peter walking on water. So we're going to have faith during deliverance. Like, it's so much that's going to be, that word faith is so much that's involved with that to lead us to our salvation, man. All right. What verse you was on Matthew?
Verse 26.
All right, let's go to 27.
I'm going to start back at verse 26. And he saith unto them, this is Matthew chapter 8, verse 26. And he saith unto them, why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. And it don't just say there was a calm; it was a great calm. And that must be a beautiful thing. And after this Hurricane Ian passes, there's going to be a great calm here as well. There's going to be a lot of scattered things on the street and stuff like that, and the stores are going to open back up, and people are going to be driving on the streets, and it's just going to be back to how it was. But there's going to be more and more storms coming. and it's better to have faith. You don't want Yahweh Shai to come back, and either you was once in the truth and you hopped out, or you're in the truth and you're doing it wrong, but you don't want to change your ways because you got pride in the way, and Yahweh Shai come back and say, "Oh, ye little faith, I have never known thee." That's gonna be a horrible, horrible feeling. Mark.
Yeah, so yeah, man. So, so ultimately, faith is gonna want, like in that situation, Yahweh Shai calm the storm, but we want him to crank it up in these times, So, but also within comparison to that, calming the storm in our mind, in our spirit, man, to where like we see the chaos going on around us, but still it's calm. That's a calm. We have a calming feeling, knowing that these are the words that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has spoken from the beginning, and we're seeing it visually come to pass. You know what I'm saying? In front of our eyes. And in one of my last videos, I said that the doctrine that we teach is going to be also ultimately going to, increase our faith. Because if we, knowing that we're seeing the things come to pass that we spoke about, that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai put the words in our mouth to speak about, that's going to be a comforting spirit. Because guess what? We're speaking about salvation too. So now if we see everything that's coming to all the destruction that's coming to pass that he promised to bring, all right, so therefore we can put a stamp on the promise to deliver those that are the elect. So we just have to have faith that we're part of that number, the chosen ones. All right.
And not for satisfaction of self, like, oh, I was right. It's for satisfaction of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, like, oh, he was right.
Taking ourselves out of the equation and understanding it's all for the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. That's a beautiful point, brother. All right, I'll get Mark. Oh, you want to get it?
I got it.
All right, this goes in depth a little bit more of the same account when Yahweh Shai calmed the seas. All right.
All right, this is Mark chapter 4, verse 35. It says, "In the same day when even was come, he said unto them, Let us pass over unto the other side. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took him, even as he was in the ship, and there were also with him other little ships. And there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full." And
all right, Khan. So now imagine those ships as individuals. And what are the foundations of those ships built upon? All right, because you can kind of see where we're going, and with the next parable after this. All right, so now in the midst of all these people, man, all right, there's going to be chaos and turmoil everywhere, and your little vessel is going to be in the midst of all that with the waves thereof. They said, "Why did the heathen rage?" And the people imagine a vain thing. So that storm, that tempest is going a lot of times going to be people, the uproars of the people, martial law, civil unrest. These are the things that are coming to America, man. And Eddie Murphy ain't involved in none of that. So now, keep going, Baba Kusha.
Cool. Verse 38. "And he was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow, and they awake him, and say unto him, Master, carest thou not that we perish? And he arose and rebuked the wind, and said unto the sea, Peace be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm."
Right, and that great calm. All right, so now, they were saying, "Oh, Master, do you care that we perish?" But he was like, "Perish?" Like, he was looking at him like, "You crazy." No, I got you. Watch this. But now, imagine him doing that in our minds, because he's not going to calm the people down. But he's in those times. But when these prophecies come, there's no turning back. They're just being held back right now until the elect are sealed.
And also to say that you're gonna perish, take no thought for our life. Not saying go out here and be reckless, but at the same time, our souls will never perish.
Right.
Our vessels may perish. And that character that was in that vessel may perish, and people on earth think, oh, the person's gone. But really, that person's soul just transitioned unto the Father.
Right.
And it's going to come back. And Yahweh Shai being in the heavens and having that type of time mentality, it's just all. All
right, Shalakia. Right. Because if you think about it, we don't, like the ones that are in the truth, they don't perish because they're going to be glorified soon as, who blessed are they that die in the Lord, man, from this henceforth. They're going to be glorified, roughly paraphrasing. So just like how Yahweh Shai didn't perish, all right, the elect are not going to perish. So some people might die, but to perish is something totally different. That means that character is totally gone. Then you have to be born back in the kingdom. But but the key word you said was transitioning. We're transitioning into a new form of life. We're actually transitioning from death to life because these bodies are dying every day, but the new bodies that we're going to get are going to be living every day.
We're going to be coming into the night, until the morning.
Right. And that's what we're waiting for. That morning, that day start to arise. And right now it's arising in our hearts. That's why we go out here on the highways and byways, prophesying the sincerity and truth, ushering in the kingdom of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai.
I'm on verse 40 now.
All right, Con.
Mark chapter 4, verse 40. And he said unto them, why are ye so fearful?
All right, go ahead. Read that.
All right. This is Mark chapter 4, verse 40. It says, and he said unto them, why are ye so fearful? How is it that you have no faith? And they feared exceedingly and said one to another, what manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?
Come on, man. What manner of man? First of all, Yahweh Shai said he's going to take vengeance on his enemies. He's not going to meet you like a man. So what type of power is this that the winds and the seas even obey him, man? All right? So that's the type of power that we have protecting us. All right, so we look forward to the storms and the destructions to come, so we can see the power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and see the things come to pass that He has promised unto His elect, and promised to everybody else. He promised salvation to His elect and judgment to everyone else.
And living here in Florida, like for pretty much my whole life, seeing like storms and hurricanes and stuff like that. One thing I'll say is very humbling, because when the storm comes, everything shuts down. There's no cars on the street. Everybody stays in their house, and it's really all left to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You can be in your house, and you might be distracted playing a video game, watching movies or TVs, or doing something that distracts your mind from the fact that the winds are blowing and the rain is falling outside. But when that power gets cut off, people don't like that. People do not like being in the storm in darkness and with no power. And it's truly a humbling thing, because you have nothing but yourself and your surroundings. All right, and really Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
All right, I got a precept real quick because you say when the storm come, like everything is shut down, right?
All
right, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. It says, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Right. So when those storms come, ain't gonna be no pleasure in them times, because ain't nobody gonna want them around. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders shall cease because there are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of birds, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So now, so that's how the Lord's gonna bring a storm that's gonna shut down the economy here, man. An economic storm that's gonna shut down everything in America. Ain't gonna be no jobs out here. Ain't gonna be nothing. None of that 401k. None of that. None of that. What the girls work for, all them bundles and all that, weed bundles, ain't none of that, bro. All the daughters of music, all that's going to be gone out the window. So these are the type of things that the Lord is bringing to this place, man. And we have to be prepared for it. All right, it's like you on the own.
You good. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 24. It says, therefore, whosoever heareth these things of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which buildeth his house upon a rock.
Right. So now, think about those ships that were in the sea. Right? What was their foundation on? The ones that were at Yahushua being that cornerstone of that foundation. So their foundation was built upon the rock. Even though they were in the sea in a boat, the foundation was built upon the rock. So even though we're amongst all these people, our foundation is different from all these people. Our foundation is built upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So while we're in the sea of the roaring sea of everybody making a tumult of what's to come, we're prophesying against it. We're prophesying, telling them what's coming. And they didn't want to believe. But when the grinding shall cease, that's when they're gonna be scared, man. That's when they're gonna be scared. When Yahweh Shem Yahushai shuts down this whole operation, man. And nobody's gonna know nobody's gonna know what to do.
They're just it's really gonna be them not being distracted anymore. They won't have music, sports, the media, the social media, or anything like that to distract them from their environment. And they're gonna realize, damn, I'm really a part of a society that's based off of wickedness.
Yeah, and check this out. You know how they say ignorance is bliss. A distraction is a form of comforting. So now if you got your mind on something else, you don't even know about the danger that's going on around you. So now when the Lord takes all those distractions away and makes you focus on the destruction that's coming, and your mind ain't nowhere prepared for that shit, man, that's the Lord's judgment on these people. He's gonna make them. He's going to have them in that state of derision all the way to the point where, okay, now everything's about to be destroyed. And now he's going to take all them distractions away, man. And everybody's going to be face to face with the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
When the power go out, the first thing you hear from the storm that's going out outside is the wind. You hear doing whoo, and it starts to creep you out because even though you know it's wind, it just don't sound right.
Right.
And you just try to do something to either light a candle around or do something to distract yourself. But Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he's gonna make him. He exists. Matthew chapter 7 verse 25. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock.
That rock is Yahushai, man. All right, go ahead.
And verse 26, and everyone that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. Oh, damn.
So, mind you, what was said in the in Matthew chapter 8 and Mark chapter 4 said after the Lord rebuked the storm, there was a great calm. So after Yahweh Shem Yahushai destroys this place, right, it's going to be a great calm, man. And great was the fall of that place. And right after that great fall is going to be a great calm all over the world, man. Because Esau's going to be, and his devil ass system is going to be destroyed. You know.
Going back to hurricanes and stuff. When the hurricane passes the next day and it's a bright sunny morning and everything like that, you look around and all you see is damage. And really, that's the most humbling part, because when you go on your day-to-day life, you see all these houses and the stores and the cars, and you see all these buildings of these imaginations of man. And within a few hours of some wind and some rain, all that shit gets torn down. All of it gets torn down. You know, concerning like a tornado or a hurricane like that. All it takes for it is for it to shake a little bit and get a little bit wet, and it's just nothing. That's the power. That's a small power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Come.
You want to keep going? Come. This is verse 28. And it came to pass when Yahushua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority, not as the scribes.
He got authority. He got authority. Yahweh gave him authority over everything, man. So he could send the evil away, or he could protect us through the evil. He has the power to do all that.
And if we walk in the footsteps of him, we're going to be given authority as well. And right now, we shouldn't be teaching it. We shouldn't be teaching or trying to boast ourselves up as if we have authority, because all we are blades of grass or collections of dust unto Yahweh Shem Shai. We know that we're going to get a reward. We know that we're going to be kings. We know that we're going to be rulers. But right now we have to play out our part as a servant and as a lowly creature here in this society, but still giving honor and praise to Yahweh Shem Shai.
God.
That's what I said.
All right. Yeah. So
is that Luke?
No, that's Ezekiel 13. Yeah, I want to get that too. Ezekiel 13 and 10.
All
right. So now, what is the foundation of most of these individuals based upon? What is their foundation? All right. So the ones that truly believe in Yahweh Shem Shai, their foundation is on the rock. But the ones that don't listen, their foundation is like on sand.
Okay.
All right.
People that what do you want to get? Ezekiel?
Yeah, Ezekiel 13 and 10. But you can go ahead and make your point.
No, it's just people who have their faith in money. All right. Once the dollar collapses, your faith is gone. People who have their faith in the music industry, you're trying to make it up out of here or something like that. Once that industry is closed up, well, there goes your faith as well. And people who have their faith in industries and things that are created here in this realm, in this society, I'll say, all of that's going to be done. But the only thing that's going to stand forever is Yahweh Shem Shai.
Right.
Ezekiel 13.
Yeah, 13 and 10.
I keep thinking that Ezekiel is like closer in the in the Old Testament, but it's like further back.
Yeah.
Ezekiel 13 and 10. It says, because even kick me up. Because they have seduced my people, saying, peace, and there was no peace, and one built up a wall, and lo, others dabbed it with untempered mortar.
All right, so now they're trying to. You have these false prophets in these other nations, like how they're telling us to prepare for the storm, the hurricanes, and stuff like that. And how they tell us to prepare for the collapse of the economy, and how they tell us to prepare for potential World War III is not the way Yahweh Shem Shai is instructing us to prepare ourselves. So now they're building a foundation, right? Just like the individuals built the foundation off sand and not on a rock. All right, go ahead.
Verse 11, say unto them which dabbed it with untempered mortar that it shall fall, and there shall be an overflowing shower, and ye, O great hailstone, shall fall, and a storm wind shall rent it.
So that's what's going to happen to the foundation of this system, and anybody that's building their foundation with this, because this foundation of this system is untempered mortar. So if you're teaching, right, not only just this, because part of the religious system is what I'm talking about also. So if you're teaching like that the mark of the MOTB is anything other than the C-hip, then you're building the foundation on untempered mortar that's on top of sand. If you're teaching that all nations can make it, that's untempered mortar on top of sand. If you're teaching that you don't have to call upon the name of the Lord, you can call him whatever you want. You're building your foundation is sand, and your walls are are put together with untempered mortar. So all that's gonna fall, man.
Scriptures say, now should be the time where Yahweh seeketh them that worship in spirit and in truth. And that's very, very important. People think they're in the spirit of the Lord. They think that they're in the truth.
I get it,
but
I got it right now. This is John chapter 4, verse 22. It says, ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
So for salvation is of the Jews, and that's just straight up. Ye worship and you know not where. You know. And people who think they have the name, they'll either say Yahweh or Jehovah or something like that, or they think they're in the spirit. But you can tell a tree by its fruits. All right, and all of those really they're organizations. The Israelites that call on Yahweh and Ahia and stuff like that, they all operate like organizations. They don't operate like people who are trying to please their God.
So anything other than Yahweh and Yahweh Shai is uncivilized, meaning you're not going to get anywhere with that. That's the first step. So if you if you're not teaching the name, then there's no way you're going to have the correct doctrine to lead the people to the promise, man.
And then in those camps or in those individuals who go by the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you have to judge a tree by its fruits. And a lot of one that I know of is like One Body and Yahushua. They know the name, but yet they still operate themselves like a business. They still about money. They boast upon the branches, and not just them, but other individuals as well.
Yeah, all those are building walls with untempered mortar, man. All right, go ahead.
This is Ezekiel chapter 13. I'm on verse 12. Lo, when the wall is fallen, shall it be said unto you, where is the dabbing? Where is the dabbing wherewith ye have dabbed it? Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I will even rent it with a stormy wind in my fury, and there shall be an overflowing shower in mine anger, and great hailstones in my fury, and consume it. To consume it.
All right, so this is the judgment that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to bring to this world, man. To the people, to the minds of these people. They're going to physically see things that's going to destroy their mind to where they're going to even not know how to think or what to think about, man. So if your foundation is not set upon Yahweh Shem Yahushua, then your mind is not going to be solidified in that day, man. You got a precept?
No, I'm finna get Isaiah.
Oh, okay,
so it's backing off what you just said. It's going to be very daunting to see something that what scientists will say defy the laws of physics. All right, and I was standing next to somebody who saw a chariot, and the chariot just so happened to be very lowest I've ever seen a chariot be, and change colors. And they saw it first. They said, "Oh wow, look at that!" They saw it appear out of nowhere and disappear into nowhere, and I was like, "Wow." And I really want to know what that person thought, and they just I don't know. And she said she was scared and she wanted to leave the park. And fear fell upon her when she saw the chariot. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So seeing stuff like that happen in an already shaken state, it's just gonna really break people down mentally, spiritually. That's why it's very important for us to be with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name and take away our reproach.
It said, only let us be called by thy name and take away thy reproach. So this is what the women are going to be looking for, the men of the Lord, man. That's exactly who they're going to be looking for, the men of the Lord, to protect them in those times. You can grab Isaiah 32:1.
Okay, I got you.
So that's going to be your protection, man. Our protection is Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and then the covering that you know that's our covering, and then the women and children fall up under the covering of the man.
Right now, we're saying what those women said unto a man of the Lord. We're saying unto Yahushua, please let us be called only by thy name,
right? And
to take away our reproach, because we want our sins washed away. We want to be called Yasharallah, princes of power. Isaiah 32:2. 32:1 is Isaiah chapter 32 verse 1. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment.
And that's when we get lifted up into the. That's when we get into the kingdom, into our land, man. Go ahead. But our king right now, sitting on the right hand side of the Father, ruling is Yahushua. Ultimately, he's going to set up the tabernacle of David here on the earth, and you're witnessing it being set up right now. Go ahead.
And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land.
And that weary land is America, which ultimately has made the whole world a wilderness, man. That's what Esau has done. So these women are going to be looking for, these righteous women are going to be looking for a man of the Lord right now, and when that time is to come. So now the men have to prepare themselves in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not dabbing themselves, not building a foundation on sand, with the walls being made of untempered mortar, man. So you got to be careful what you put your mind in subjection to, and what you take in, or what you put out, So knowing that, that our foundation is of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, no matter what storm that comes through, man. Because these storms, these hurricane storms, like, you know, there'll be times where, like, we're gonna have to get up and go get out. Like, we almost thought to evacuate. Because we're moving in a new place. We just moved in a new place. Been there for a month. We're not sure of what the flood situation is. You know what I'm saying? So if it would have been a smart decision for us to leave, we would have left. That's not taken away from the faith of the Lord. It would just be a smart decision to pay attention. If the Lord tells you to move, get the hell out the way. You get the hell out the way. Don't stand there like when a missile's coming at you, the Lord shall save me, or a lion coming to eat you, and the Lord telling you to move, and you don't move. Man, come on. What do you do? Like that doesn't make any sense. But the Lord is going to prepare us to make the right decision no matter what storm comes our way, man.
I wanted to reread this part. It says, "As the shadow of a great rock in a weary land." So like Isaiah chapter 32, verse 2. And at the bottom of verse 2, it says, "As the shadow of a great rock in a weary land." Could you imagine walking miles and miles miles and miles in a field, being beaten upon by the sun's rays? All right, it don't matter what your skin color is. That shit gonna hurt. That shit is gonna hot. It's gonna exhaust you. And then you see a great rock with shade. That's how the men of the Lord who know the names of Yahweh Shem and Shai and walk in His commandments to the best of their ability. That's what those individuals spiritually are going to be for these individuals who have no foundation.
Right. Imagine in that great rock that's providing that shade, got water coming out of it.
Because a person, a group of people who are out here with no foundation, no type of spiritual anchoring, they're going to be hazardous to each other. They're going to be like, oh, they're going to jump at everything that moves. They're going to grow in fear and damn near faint at everything that's being brushed by the wind. But when they're around a person, they're gonna be like, "It's cool, we good. We got a roof over our head, we got our health, we chilling."
And if you ever watch any movies to where like it's a situation like a disaster or something like that, and they try to put one person in charge of the whole thing, and like like The Walking Dead. What's Carl's dad's name?
I forget his name, but I know you're talking about.
But anyway, they put him in charge of everything, but they was always constantly arguing. What does the scripture say? Can two walk together unless you be agreed? So these people out there going to be so fucking mind-boggled that they're going to end up getting destroyed trying to figure out what to do next. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord's going to keep the minds of His elect, man. All right?
We're doing Isaiah.
Isaiah 4:2-6, and that will be it.
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 4, verse 2. It says, In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel."
Man. All the way to 6.
Oh, come.
Yeah. But that's beautiful right there. We could have closed it right there because that have escaped of Israel, man. The ones that have escaped the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and been delivered, man.
Verse 3. "And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof, by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning."
Come on, can you imagine at that time the only Israelite women that are going to be on the earth at that time are righteous ones. All the wicked ones are going to be destroyed. We ain't got to worry about seeing our women twerking and all that kind of shit, trying to get attention by shaking ass and all that. We're going to see our women being righteous, man. That's a beautiful thing. And the women of the Lord are going to be righteous, meaning the men.
I saw this, just going off the women real quick. I saw a video of a regular Judite woman, dressed like she was at a club or something like that, and she was talking to this Elamite woman. And the Elamite woman, you know how they dress. They dress like princesses for real. But she was showing her a dance, and there was some dance that she did with her arms or something like that. It was real cool, real cute. And the Jake woman, she did it. She was like, "All right, I like that. And then the Jake woman said, "You want to dance how we dance?" And the Elamite was like, "All right, cool." And then she started shaking her ass. Or the Jake woman started shaking her ass, and the Elamite woman, I felt really bad, and because the Elamite woman was looking at her like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like you could feel her being embarrassed just being around her. Like she wanted to leave. Like it's like she guarded herself. She was like, "Oh, I got myself in a sticky situation," and the Jake woman was just, "Yeah, ooh, this how we dance."
Yeah, so it's just all about our women being like beasts, man. You know? But all that's going to change when Yahweh Shem Yahushua brings judgment to this place.
Verse 5 of Isaiah chapter 4. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion, and upon her assemblies, a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of a flame of fire by night, for upon all the glory shall be a defense.
All right, yeah, so there's always going to be protection. You know what I'm saying? Part of that protection is going to be chariots over the houses, but there's always going to be the protection or for the children of Israel, all right, in that time. Even in these times, man. All right, go ahead.
Verse 6, and there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime for the heat, and for a place of refuge, and for a covert from storm and from rain.
All right, and that place of refuge is Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. You know, and that's those are the things we're gonna have to be mindful of in these times to keep our minds solid, so we don't get to thinking like these heathens out here, and like 2/3 of our people are considered heathens because they're going after the customs of the heathens, so they're gonna get the judgment of the heathens, man. You know, you got any precepts you want to bring up?
No.
All right, so you know that was just a little bit on dealing with the storms that are to come and the storms that we've already endured in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And Lord willing, this lesson will edify and to serve this purpose. With that, we'd like to say, Kal, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone, and our elder Harold Wan as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Shalom.
Shalom.